Hello guys, and welcome to my quick video on the best starting base location in Subnautica 2. This is for early on into the game, of course. We're only just in early access, so there's a lot of things that be added to the game. So I think just having a nice foundational kind of base location that's close to a whole bunch of resources, close to where you can get food and water, and isn't too dangerous to travel to right at the start of the game can be a really nice bonus in Subnautica. Having experience and playing the first Subnautica 1 from the development stage to playing, below zero and now the official Subnautica 2, this is kind of a location that I think meets a lot of those standards that I've gained from the experience of playing through a lot of those games. I wanted to start here at the Lifepod because in a lot of videos that talk about Subnautica 2 that I've seen, and with like nice locations in the game and cool kind of things, they don't kind of really show you how to get to them. And I know for a new player, because there isn't really a map in Subnautica 2, it's more or less just kind of explore the depths a little bit blind. Some people might not know how to get to these certain locations, so I wanted to take you guys straight from the life pod, which is the thing that you kind of start the game off with, right? And take you straight to the location for this base. It's not too far away, so it's not too much of a journey. If you look at the top here, I'm just heading north. The top of the screen, right, there is a compass, and we're just heading north, kind of slightly northeast, towards this alien artifact, and then a little bit over there, you can see I've put this structure down, right? So everyone should be able to find this location now as I get hit by this nasty fish. Um, this location right here is particularly nice. You don't have to place your bases right where I've placed it because these kind of fish here, right, which has been a bit of a topic of debate with the community on how aggressive fauna in the game or aggressive fish, right? They can kind of bite you and you can't really fight back at the moment. There's no kind of weapons to be able to like kill these fish or anything. You can kind of hit them with a multi-tool and they get kind of a bit annoyed and they might go away for a while, or you can throw flares to kind of distract things, but there isn't that great of a kind of permanent solution to keep these guys away from you. And when you're underwater wanting to build your base, you don't really want to be continuously being attacked by the fishes. So if you want to move the base, a little bit around here, it doesn't matter. You can put it like just over here or whatever, or get away from some of these fishes if you want to. The reason I place it here is because I like this flat kind of shelf here, so you don't have to worry too much about your base being hit with collisions like these, these rocks and stuff like that. If you try and build in here and you put a piece down, it might collide with the rock and you won't be able to place it. So I just particularly like this flat shelf. Also, what we have around here is we have these little these bubble coral type things. They spit out like oxygen, and when you're building your base, it can be nice to kind of just sit over the top of this guy and be getting oxygen and not having to go all the way to the surface, which takes a lot longer than me sitting here in a tadpole machine, right? When you're starting the game off, you're out here just swimming. So it can take a while to go from the bottom of the sand to then trying to go back up here every 30 seconds that your starting oxygen runs out. So having these little bubble guys here to give you oxygen is kind of a nice little thing that you can do with this as well. Now, with resources in Subnautica, when we look at this pile of quartz over here, this stuff, once you've mined it, and we're talking about the hard materials, stuff like titanium and copper and silver, that stuff is a limited resource. So once you've gotten these resources, they're not going to come back. There are things like these plant elements here. I think this stuff does respawn, and I think some of the animals and the fish do respawn, but I don't think the actual hard metals, those resources respawn in the game. And I do have a larger base here that I have done on my main save, but I wanted to restart the game so that I could bring you into this little nifty base that I've made, because there is this thing called a scanner, right? And what this scanner does is it tells you resources that are near around you. If you look in the middle here, we've got this kind of larger semi-translucent ball. That is the middle of the scanner, and then everything around here are resources, and you can click on any one of these and it will give you a little dot, which if you go and follow that dot, it will bring you right to this resource of titanium. And as we look in the scanner, right, if we go through copper, we go through quartz, we go through silver, right around this location, there is a lot of different resources. And I won't spoil you guys with like the base locations and stuff like that because I don't want to spoil you guys' experience in the game. But this area is decently close to a lot of the early quests as well. So you're not going to have to worry too much about going out and traveling halfway across the map and then going, oh, I have to now go back to my base, right? This is a nice little nook in the map that's close to a lot of the early activities and quests, and it's also abundant with a whole bunch of resources. So it's quite awesome. And I wanted to talk about this because I think there are some other people who have mentioned this spot. um but I wanted to kind of highlight some of the reasons why it's really cool here. I am in creative mode, so that's why you're not seeing any like need for oxygen or anything. But down in these cave systems, which is right below, right where we had our base, right, there are things like these nodules of copper, like so much of it. There's so much silver. There's a ton of like these acid sacs here, which we can make batteries out of. There's large nodules of copper. There's also titanium down here as well. I found before. We can see quartz here. But there is titanium here as well. I just can't kind of spot it at the moment. Okay, so here's some, right? So in this cave network, really cool, right below the base, heaps of resources. Every time you need resources, just dive down into the cave, which is awesome. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you guys would like a tutorial on base building or anything like that, leave me a comment down below. And after all, I hope you guys have a lovely time on Subnautica. We're in early access. There's probably 2 years of development. There's only about 4 to 5 biomes in the game at the moment on release. The original Subnautica had about 30 biomes. So you can imagine we've got the map's probably going to be about 6 times bigger, if not more than that, by the time that the game is through development. So there's a lot of things to look forward to with Subnautica. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic time on the game. Signing out.